The Super Mario Bros. Movie is a fresh, wild take on the iconic brothers, full of lovable characters, beautiful animation, and several references to Nintendo's other iconic properties, a film that both fans and families can enjoy. Of all the video games that made their way to the big screen, the Super Mario Bros. Movie undoubtedly outshines them all. So much so that I had to make a video. I know I'm behind, but better late than never. The primary reason for the movie's overwhelming success was its ability to stay faithful to the source material. Most video game movies follow trends that appeal to a general audience or become these ridiculous visions that nobody wants to watch. No one ever wants to make a dedicated movie for the fans. Even the Sonic movies focus way too much on the insignificant human characters, so much so that Sonic felt like the B-plot of the first movie. But the Mario movie never tries to be anything more than a Mario movie, and that's where it gets its appeal. The movie doesn't have the most engaging story. It focuses on references and characters rather than trying to tell a compelling narrative. However, there is a justifiable reason for this. Mainline Mario games have never had a cohesive story. Each game is about one or both of the brothers blasting through levels trying to save Peach from Bowser. Until I watched the movie for the first time, even I didn't know how they were going to structure the narrative. The writers didn't have much to go off of than Mario and Luigi's origin story. The only story element that has stayed the same over Mario's career is how he and Luigi found their way to the Mushroom Kingdom. Mario and Luigi are twin plumbers from Brooklyn that got sucked through a pipe while on the job. This story was first introduced in the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. In the introduction, Mario and Luigi are trying to unclog a woman's bathtub and accidentally get sucked down the drain. Obviously, there are many questions as to why this happens. At the end of the day, fans don't consider this version of the story canon. There's an unofficial theory that it happened in an adventure that predates the Super Mario games. Before there was Super Mario Bros., there was Mario Bros., Luigi's debut, a game in which Mario and Luigi exterminate enemies while working on pipes in the sewers. The movie seems to take inspiration from Mario Bros. And uses it as Mario and Luigi's introduction to the Mushroom Kingdom, which I appreciate. From here, the movie moves forward with its two key plot elements, Bowser taking the Starman, aka the Superstar, and his love for Princess Peach. The Starman has always been the strongest power-up in the Mario universe. When grabbing one, the player becomes invincible for a short period of time. However, the Starman had to be implemented carefully in the movie. If there was an overabundance of them within the Mushroom Kingdom, ideally the characters could just stock up on them and use them over and over again, ultimately making them unimportant and the movie insignificant. One Starman meant it was a power worth protecting. Whoever used it would be unstoppable, unlimited power that no single person should have. The love angle with Bowser didn't do the movie a justice. This is not a new concept in the franchise, of course. We've seen it across the games as well as the first Mario film ever created, Super Mario Bros., The Great Mission to Rescue Princess Peach. However, we can give those a pass since that movie was non-canonical and like I said before, the games don't have a comprehensive lore. But using a crush for Peach as a way to introduce Bowser in his first movie just ruined the character. The original story for Super Mario Bros. Was that Bowser had black magic and used it to turn all of the citizens of the Mushroom Kingdom into bricks. Peach had white magic, the only power that could counter Bowser's black magic. That's why Bowser captured her, so she couldn't undo his hard work. I'm not saying the narrative should have gone in this direction, but Bowser would have been a much cooler villain had they focused on his brute strength and villainous leadership. Now we all know the real reason why the wedding arc was in the movie. It was done so Wedding Peach and Bowser could make an appearance. Like I said, the movie focuses on references more than narrative. It's the same reason why the go-karts were added in the Kong Kingdom. Like many other Mario fans, I thought the karts were completely out of place. All the houses and structures are built with wood and grass, something you'd expect to find in the jungle. Yet, for whatever reason, they have these advanced race cars with this zero-gravity engineering. Ultimately, the karts should have been saved for their own movie, and they still might get one, but the karts shouldn't have been a part of the Kong Kingdom. Most of the characters were portrayed exceptionally well. Mario has always been an impulsive man who doesn't back down from a challenge. His personality does change a bit in various spin-off series, but the movie was able to capture the core elements of Mario's personality. In my opinion, the movie has the best portrayal of Luigi throughout the franchise. Luigi's timid nature and immaturity is usually exaggerated in the games to the point where it is unbelievable, but he is much more realistic and relatable in the movie. Luigi's cowardice is justified. He's cautious. Unlike his older brother, he's not afraid to take things slower and go at his own pace. He is unfortunately dropped into the darkest parts of the new world and has to face those horrors alone. Another big part of Luigi's personality is his love for his brother and his friends. Unlike Mario, whose perception of his brother changes between series, Luigi has always looked up to Mario and wants to be just like him. This is why their father tells Mario that he's bringing his brother down. Luigi trusts Mario and is willing to follow him anywhere. The dynamic between the brothers is about what you'd expect. When the two of them are together, they can accomplish anything. However, there is one line in the movie that sort of takes their relationship to a weird level.
Thinking about your brother?
We've never been apart this long.
The brothers are in their early to mid-20s, and they've never split up. Mario's never gone on vacation, Luigi's never spent the week at a friend's house. Yikes, maybe this adventure was good for them. Toad is such a lovable character, who's always sort of been the comic relief character of the main cast. Once again, he's a character who's never had a canonical origin. In the games, he's Peach's right-hand man, but we never really know how or why he was given that position. In a few of the older shows, he offered Peach sanctuary in his home after Bowser took over the Mushroom Kingdom, but there was never really a resolution to that story. Toad works well as a nomad. He's not afraid to fend for himself while also being an optimistic individual who's always ready to make a new friend. It was a great introduction to the character. My one complaint about Toad is that he's never a part of the action. He doesn't use any of the power-ups and isn't anything more than a liability. Even Donkey Kong gets to use a power-up and he's never used them in the games. The wedding scene would have been the perfect time for him to shine, fighting side by side with Peach as they take on Bowser's army. Peach's portrayal in the movie is exactly what she needed and something the fans have been asking for a long time. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Peach is commonly used as a catalyst to kick off Mario's adventures. Nintendo has labeled her the #1 damsel in distress, except in a few rare cases, she always gets kidnapped and her friends have to save her. It sucks because she has the potential to be much more. Like I said earlier, Peach has white magic and this has never been retconned. We've seen glimpses of this power before in a few of the games. Even though she never uses it in the movie, it was still enjoyable to watch her act like a true leader. I also love the dynamic between her and Mario. The movie doesn't push them into a relationship. They've only just met and become friends over the course of their adventure through their actions and dialogue.
Are you sure there's not like a...
Down the hatch. Yep, there it is, and all gone.
This is a really bad idea.
Oh, do you have another way to save my brother?
What are you gonna tell me next? That the turtles are evil?
No. They're usually pets.
No way.
Heck, I'm the Brooklyn. I'll buy you a turtle.
I also love that the movie brings up Peach's origin. Nintendo has never given her one. She's always been a human princess of the Mushroom Kingdom, which leads to so many questions considering Mario and Luigi are from another world. There's not much I need to say about Bowser that I haven't already said. I dislike how Bowser's love for Peach fuels his hatred for Mario, especially when the two don't meet each other until the very end of the movie. The only knowledge each of them has about the other is what they've heard from their allies. Also, Bowser's love confession comes out of left field. Before this point in the movie, Bowser is brought up as this unstoppable beast that everyone fears. Then, out of the blue, he's this overwhelming loser whose judgment is clouded by emotion. What if they want to introduce Bowser Jr. into a future movie? Has Bowser just always had a son? Does Bowser move on and find another Koopa to bump shells with? And if he does, what was the point of him going after Peach? And then there's that cringy song he sings halfway through the movie. Yeah, I know we all like to meme on it, but it's not a good song. And that's the point, it's not supposed to be. I cannot believe I'm about to say this, but Peaches is a simp song that was put in for laughs. And it's deplorable that the mainstream media never caught on to that and thinks it's actually a hit song. Watch, in the next couple of years, we're going to see a trend of these popping up in movies before the normies realize that no one cares. But I digress. In my opinion, Bowser would have been a much cooler character if he was an actual threat to Mario instead of a goofball. But to be fair, that's all he really is in the games, so what do I know? Donkey Kong is another character I'm on the fence about, and not because Seth Rogen played the character. I actually enjoyed his performance, it just wasn't Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong has never spoken in the games, so I can't imagine how difficult it was to write for the character. All that the writers knew about DK was that he was strong and he hated Mario, and Seth Rogen's performance was a reflection of that. I don't know what kind of DK I was expecting, but it wasn't the one we got. Regardless, I didn't hate Seth Rogen's performance and wouldn't mind seeing him return. However, he does need to tone down the Mario hate. Throughout the movie, DK constantly insults Mario even when it is unnecessary.
Mario, you saved my life.
Yeah, well, I won't tell anyone. Good, please don't. And what my dad thinks I'm a joke too.
Yeah, well, your dad's right. You know what? Cool raccoon suit. Really? Not at all.
As far as the background characters go, there's only one I really want to talk about that isn't a cameo, and that's Cranky Kong, DK's father. In the games, Cranky Kong is DK's grandfather in the original Donkey Kong. Fans have a problem with the huge continuity error, but I think it works. In the games, DK's father is a character called Donkey Kong Jr., who we've only ever seen as a child. Since we know next to nothing about the character, his portrayal in the movie doesn't matter as much as the others. But more importantly, if Cranky Kong was the original Donkey Kong, and DK's father was Donkey Kong Jr., then that would make DK's father Cranky Kong Jr., so the name fits. The references help draw in a bigger audience, and since there is an overabundance of them, fans have a reason to watch the movie multiple times to find any they may have missed during previous viewings. There are way too many to put the entire list in this video, but here are some of my favorites. The capes from Super Mario World. Jumpman, voiced by Mario's video game voice actor Charles Martinet. I actually got to meet him a couple of times, he's a really nice guy. When Mario and Luigi run under the construction site, there are crates and buckets akin to the first level of Super Mario Bros. Pauline, 8-Bit Mario. This sign here that says Level 1-2, the name of the second level in Super Mario Bros. It takes place underground, and the scene also uses the level theme. There's a poster of Toad, Blue Toad, and Toadette in a rock band hanging on the arch. For those of you that don't know, Blue Toad was the original playable Toad in Super Mario Bros. 2, and has since been playable in many other games. The antique store that sells old Mario items. Bomb Bomb Battlefield, Cheap Cheap Bridge, Sarasa Land. Actually, that's the Sand Kingdom from Super Mario Odyssey. Yoshi's Island, the Super Mario Overworld styled map, and the Funky Kong poster next to it, Kamek's fake Peach costume, and the Mario Kart drift boosting. There are so many more. If you want to see them all, I'll leave a link in the description below. Illumination went overboard with the mushrooms. I know it's called the Mushroom Kingdom, but they created more work for themselves than they really needed to. Baby Peach's outfit is different in the movie than in game. This is because her outfit in the game is similar to her adult outfit. It wouldn't make sense for Baby Peach to wear a princess romper if she came from a different world. If there's only one star, did Mario and Luigi use it up? Or is it a special power-up that can be used more than once? Or is it a rare power-up that's hard to find and they just happen to find one in a neighboring kingdom? What are the rules, movie? I need to know! Peach wears pink tights under her princess dress and white ones under her wedding dress. Not that I would know. I'm not sure why, but if I had to guess, this was probably done so fans couldn't abuse the power of the pause button. Near the end of the movie, there's this derpy shot of Mario getting blown up. This is another scene that feels out of place and was put in either for the sake of advertising or because Illumination has to add one dumb derpy face in every movie they make. Nobody laughed at this. Near the beginning of the movie, one of the toads in Peach's castle says,
We are going to stop Bowser.
How? Look at us. We're adorable.
Once again, this feels out of place. Maybe not for a regular Toad, but these are Peach's representatives, most of which are mature. Once again, this was added for advertising's sake. There's a character at the end of the movie that some fans believe to be a reference to Nintendo's late president Satoru Iwata. However, this is not the case. The character has an oval-shaped face while Iwata's is more round. The character also has a mole under his left eye, something that Iwata didn't have. Before I saw the movie, gaming journalists and critics were all hyping up the post-credit character reveal like it was somebody we'd never expect, when in reality, it's exactly who everyone thought it was gonna be. It's like playing Mario Kart and unlocking Luigi. Yeah, I sure didn't see that one coming. It aggravated me so much because I believed the hype, thinking the character was going to be somebody like Rosalina or Frog Fuchsius. But that one's on me. It was my fault. I know you can't believe gaming journalists anymore. Overall, the Super Mario Bros. Movie was an enjoyable, nostalgic experience that made me feel like a kid again. I definitely recommend it to gaming fans of all genres. Even if you don't play Mario, go watch it. You'll have a good time. I also recommend it to those of you with children. There's a whole cast of lovable characters that both boys and girls can enjoy, and a good way to introduce your children to video games, and a small step into Nintendo's history. Did you enjoy the movie? What are your predictions for the sequel? Let me know in the comments below. I can't wait to read them.